lifestyle lovers, welcome back to It's E Lifestyle. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Erica. My channel is called It's E Lifestyle, and it is all about creating a good lifestyle. Okay, lifestyle lovers, so in this video we are going to talk dating. Currently, me and my boyfriend, we have been together for about a year, and most of you lifestyle lovers have kind of been with me on this particular journey. So we went on our first date March the 7th of 2022, and it's coming up on 1 year that we've been dating. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a life update of how things have been going, which they have been going absolutely great, and you guys have been along with me for that journey. But if you have heard me say before, I absolutely truly believe that everything that is meant to be will most definitely be. So I don't believe that we made it here by chance. I believe that I manifested the particular relationship that I'm in now, and I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to do that. Okay, lifestyle lovers, so I am going to talk about 5 things that I did as a person to manifest myself into a healthy relationship. I do not believe that it happened by chance. I feel that you can kind of attract things into your life with certain things that you do. And I don't want to confuse prayer with manifestation. So manifestation is things that we do within us to attract certain things into our lives. Sometimes it can be negative things. It doesn't have to even be positive things. But if you have ever heard the term prayer without work is dead, the work is the manifestation. When we pray, we're asking a higher being. For me, it's God. For others, it's whatever. But we're asking a higher being for help. We're praying for strength. We're praying for guidance. In my opinion, I don't necessarily think we can pray someone into our life, but I think we can manifest a particular type of person into our life. And I'm just going to tell you 5 things that I believe you must do before you enter into a relationship or find your person. So one of the first things that I did, and I think is very important before you get into a relationship, is to be by yourself. And some people, and I know that sounds very simple, but a lot of people just do not have the capability to be by themselves. And when I say be by yourself, I'm saying without being a relationship. Become your best version of yourself. Whatever that may be. It's different for some people, but that's one of the things that I kind of did during the time, before I got into a relationship. I was traveling with my friends. Still am traveling with my friends. But of course, I wasn't going on a vacation because I didn't have a babe to go on a vacation with. So I did most of my traveling with my friends, did most of my traveling with my family. I did some of the things that I wanted to do that I kind of felt like would make me a better person. So I think it's important to be by yourself. And it's important to do things that you feel that would make you better, whatever that may be. For some people, it's going to school. For some people, it's buying a home. I don't think you should wait on your person in order to do things that you want to do. Whatever it is that you want to do, do it. And that way, when someone comes into your life, you are your very best version of yourself. The only thing they can actually do is add to an already great version of you. Some of you lifestyle lovers have been watching me for a while. So I was in a relationship prior to the one that I'm in now. Things did not work out, but at the time that I met that person, I was my best version of me. I was so happy with my life without anybody in it. So when things didn't work out, I was really, really, really hurt about it, because I kind of felt like I was my best me. I wasn't broken. I wasn't hurting. I wasn't, just a mess. I was the best version of Erica that I felt like I could be. So it is going to be times you can be your best version of yourself, and you can meet someone and it may not necessarily pan out the way we would like it to. But in my true opinion, I feel like when that happens, it's not meant. It wasn't meant. So I think that's very, very important, to find time to be alone. A lot of people can't do that. But if you can find happiness within yourself while you're by yourself, then you can be even happier with someone else. So, that's a lot of things that people don't necessarily master, but I think it's important to be by yourself. One of the second things that I think that you should do before entering into a serious relationship is to know exactly what you want. You'll be surprised. Some people, men and women, are dating and they have no clue as to what they want. Just imagine if you're going into a buffet and you have everything on the buffet, everything that looks good, all of the sweets, all of the meats, all of the veggies, and you go in there and you're just kind of standing there and taking your time and just trying to figure out what it is you want. But you have someone that may be behind you that know exactly what they want. They're waiting for you to get the hell out the way because they know what they want. So know what it is that you want. It's going to be different depending on who you are. But if you don't know exactly what it is that you're looking for in a mate and you're just out here dating, you may settle for something, or you may be with someone that you feel is not great but just good enough because you're not particularly sure what it is that you want. And I think when you know exactly what you want, it's very, very, very easy to weed out what you don't want. So if you meet someone, and I'm going to just say you don't have any kids and you want someone that don't have any kids. So if you go on that first date, I don't think that's like a good indication to select a mate, but I'm just using that for an example. So if you go on that first date and the guy says he has 3 kids, but you know truly in your heart of hearts you want someone that does not have any kids, there should not be a second date. There should not be a third date if you know that that's what you want. So I think it's very, very important to, before you start dating, to know what it is that you want. And be truthful with yourself about what it is that you want. That is going to lead me to number 3. Write it down. Write down what it is that you want in a mate. I'm going to see, every woman, in my opinion, should have a list of what they want. I'm going to see if I have my list in my phone. I may or may not, but at one point in time, I made a list. Okay, I have it. I have my list. And I have one thing as my deal breakers. So for my list of what I want, let me see, is there a date on this? This was January the 3rd of last year. Remind you, me and my boyfriend started dating. Well, we went on our first date March the 7th. So this was last year prior to us starting dating. I have communication. I'm going to tell you why communication is so important to me. I was in a long-term relationship. And so we both were stubborn. So when we would get mad at each other, we wouldn't say anything. We were living in the same house. So if we got into an argument, I wouldn't say anything to him. He wouldn't say anything to me. And it kind of became the norm anytime we would get into an argument. And we would do that for maybe weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. We would go living in the same house without speaking to each other. And so when it came time for the relationship to end, typically when you end a relationship, you kind of go through like an adjustment period of not talking to the person or missing the person or whatever the case may be. There was no adjustment period for us because we had went so long without really communicating healthy communication. Arguing and fussing is not healthy communication. So communication is very important to me. I need to know when something is wrong, and I need to be able to communicate to you when something is bothering me. Communication is big. And I got second on my list, someone who will see about me. This doesn't mean financially, okay? So, I wanted someone that's gonna see about me. And when I say see about me, you want something to eat. You need something. I mean, it's kind of hard to put in words, but I got somebody that'll see about me. Like, sometimes I don't even have to ask. My car, this is an example. This is not even anything big, but my car needed to be detailed. When I woke up Saturday morning, my car was being detailed. I didn't ask. I don't even think I said anything about it. But one of my love languages is not having to ask. And that's what I mean when I say someone will see about me. I want someone that's consistent. I have that on my list. I don't need you loving on me, loving all up on me one day, and then the next day you ain't talking to me. I need somebody that's consistent. I need someone that's patient. I have sexual on here. We're not going to go into detail. Y'all know what sexual mean. Know how to pray. I wanted someone that knows how to pray. Love my kids and my family as their own. All of these I have in my current relationship. And deal breakers was on my list of small kids. I don't have any small kids. And I don't really want anyone with small kids. So I think it's important, once you focus on the things that you want, write it down. You don't have to read it every day, but focus on it often. That way, as you're going on your dating journey and you're dating different people, if you have someone that's inconsistent and consistency is on your list, it's easy to weed those people out. Don't keep going on a date with them. Don't keep sleeping with them. Don't keep texting them. Don't keep talking to them on the phone, because now you're going outside of what you truly want for you. And, once you get to like a certain age, 30s, 40s, 50s, ain't too much changing gonna be happening. Some people are just kind of set in their ways. So you have people that are selfish that are probably going to always be selfish. You have people that are inconsistent that are probably going to always be inconsistent, especially if that is how they have always been. It gets kind of hard. The older people get to change them. So I wouldn't focus on trying to change someone, especially something like consistency or something like patience. Patience is something that's practiced. So these are the things that I have for my list. And these are all the things that I have in my relationship. We able to communicate. He sees about me. I don't have to ask. A lot of stuff is done without me saying one word. He's consistent. He's very patient. He knows it takes me 2 hours to get ready when we're going somewhere. So he gives me the amount of time. Whatever patience means to you, that's what patience means to me. And so, as I stated, write it down, visit it often. And as you're dating, if something does not align with what you truly want, get rid of them. So moving on to the fourth thing that I think that you should incorporate before you start dating someone serious is, don't be superficial about what you want. And I'm going to give you an example. Me and my girlfriend, we were talking about our list, right? And so she was kind of telling me what she had on her list, and I was telling her what I had on my list. Remind you, I don't have on my list. I don't have must make a certain amount of money. I don't have must drive a certain amount of car. I don't have must have a six-pack, be fully fit. I don't have any of those things, because in my opinion, those are kind of superficial things. I think I would have a man that know how to communicate opposed to a man driving a luxury car. Or you can have someone driving a luxury car and they ain't asking nothing about what you need. So just to kind of give you an example, my girlfriend was telling me about what was on her list, and she had a nice car on her list. So I questioned her. I said, don't you think that's kind of superficial? And she said, no. She said, I don't think it's superficial. She said, because I have a nice car. She does. She has a very nice Mercedes truck, very expensive Mercedes truck. So she wanted for her, well, she wanted something that she had. So, you know, I can understand that, but I can tell you that the type of car somebody drives is no indication on what type of person that they are. So, you know, my boyfriend, he just recently, you know, got like a new luxury truck or whatever the case may be. But he has like an older SUV, and when we started dating, that's what he had. I don't know, maybe 10 plus years old. But if I had like a luxury car or whatever on my list, you might be missing out on somebody that's great. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, one of the traits of a millionaire is someone that drives a car until it depreciates. So, you know, having a nice car is nice, but that is no determination on what type of person that man may be, that woman may be, because some people just prefer to do different things with their money. Most of you know that I totaled my car back in September, you know, so I got pretty much a new Lexus. It's probably about a year old. The Lexus that I had before then was about 10 years old. So I got a shiny new Lexus along with a shiny new Lexus car payment. But if I could go back, I would have my 10 plus year old Lexus that didn't have a car payment, that was paid off, and that's simply because I would prefer to allocate my money towards something else every month opposed to a brand new car payment. You know, it was just something that I had to do. You know, I had to get a car. I didn't have to get a Lexus, but I kind of felt like if I was going to be paying a payment, I wanted to pay a payment for something that I actually wanted. You know, so I just think that superficial things, even I think having a certain amount of kids may be, you know, kind of superficial. If you say you want somebody with 2 kids, I think that I would not let that hinder me from finding the person that's right for me, because I don't think how many kids someone has is a determination of what type of person they could be, what type of father they could be, or the longevity of the relationship. So if you notice, I don't have any of those things on my list. Small kids is a deal breaker with me because I don't want to start over with little kids. So if a man probably had a 2 or 3 year old, my grandson is 2. So I don't, you know, no, that's my deal breaker. But I think things like, and even if you meet a man and he's driving like a little rinky-dink car, whatever the case may be, if you go out on a few dates with him, you'll be able to quickly determine whether he's driving that car by choice or he's driving it because he has to. Because you have some people, they're not driving around in luxury cars. They're taking their money and they're investing in things, or they're taking their money and saving it. I don't think a car, or even how much someone makes, you know, $100,000 salary is kind of common now. So, you know, but I don't think that is a determining factor as to whether I would to continue to date someone or continue to or get into a serious relationship with someone. I think if you date that person and you kind of, know their goals and kind of figure them out, then you can make a decision as to whether you can work with somebody or not. I can tell you I'm probably not going to be working with someone to try to kind of build them up to where they need to be. I think it's important for you to want the same thing that you have, kind of like my girlfriend said with her car, to you to have what you want. So if you want someone with good credit, I think it's important for you to have those things for yourself. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think it's really fair to expect something from someone that you don't necessarily have. So, you have 2 kids, but you want somebody that don't have kids. Or you're making $60,000, but you want somebody to make, you want a man or a woman to make $100,000. How are you asking for something from someone that you don't even necessarily have yourself? I don't think that's fair, but that's just my opinion. And that is a great segue into the 5th thing that I'm going to advise. Before you start dating or enter into a serious relationship, attract what it is that you want. Be the person that you want. If you want someone that's selfless, be that person. If you want someone that's patient, be that person. If you want someone that's educated, be that person. Attract what it is that you want. That is how you're going to track it. How can you expect someone to be patient when you're not patient? Or it's important to even just try. I think that you should be the person that you seek. I think that's very important. I want someone that is kind of concerned about me, but I just try to make sure that I'm giving that as well. Making sure my person is getting what they need from me. And sometimes I'm not sure. Sometimes I have to ask. We have to kind of do a check-in. What could make this relationship better? What could make certain things better? I want somebody to love my kids and my family as their own. So I'm making sure that I'm doing the same thing for my person. So I think, one of the 5th very important things that attract what it is that you want. And if you know that you're not there yet, then that's something that you should be working on. If it's something that you want from someone else and you don't necessarily, and you haven't necessarily mastered that, then it's a good indication as it's something that you actually just need to work on, just for yourself before you start your dating journey. Okay, lifestyle lovers, so those are the 5 things that I feel that you should do before you start to date or before you start to get into a relationship. Just to kind of recap, be by yourself. I think it's important to be by yourself. I was by myself years before I actually got into a relationship, and that did me some good, because I'm going to tell you that's probably going to be one of the biggest things for me to be able to transition from being by myself to actually cohabitating with someone, because I love living by myself. I really, really do. The second thing is know what it is you want. Don't start dating. Don't get into a relationship until it's clear about what you want. That goes on to the third thing. Once you realize what it is that you want, write it down, read it often. I'm not saying read it every day, but make sure that you're focusing on that enough to you'll be able to detect immediately when someone does not have something that you know that you want in a relationship. Number 4, don't be superficial. Things like, how a person's body is, how many kids they have, what they drive, what they making yearly. In my opinion, I don't think that's a good determining factor immediately. When you're looking to be in a relationship with someone, where you're looking to date, I think that you have to kind of get to know that person to kind of find out some of the reasons as to why they may be driving what they drive, why they're not making the amount of money that you feel like they should be making or is good enough for you. So I think you kind of have to dive a little bit more deep, but don't make that as a judgment call when you're dating. And number 5, attract what you want, be what it is that you want in a mate. That is it for this video, lifestyle lovers. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to have a great week, a great weekend whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.